3, 2, 1.
Ooh, Athletic Brewing.
It's good
You guys
stuff.
turned me on to that. It's very good stuff.
It's really good. There's a new company called Bravus,
Yeah.
which is making like stouts
Yep.
and like oatmeal stouts, and they're
Yep.
making like really like ambers and Oktoberfest.
Interesting.
I'm
just
super
told me
excited about those honey beers. I think that's such a tasty new chemistry of people who
Yeah.
also drink.
I drink, but I drink NA beers on stage because you know why? The non-alcoholic stuff does not dry out your throat as bad.
That's true.
Really?
So I
didn't know
drink
that.
those on stage.
That's true.
And then I go home and I hammer the real shit on my couch while I watch reality TV.
That sounds good.
Oh, Billy Strings came out with an NA beer.
Shut up. Are you
Oh.
serious?
Yeah,
for
called
him.
Thirst Mutilator after his one song. The art on it looks amazing.
We should get some.
Thirst
Shit.
Mutilator.
He has an instrumental song called Thirst Mutilator.
Oh,
I don't know why.
I don't know either.
did he played? Did you see him last year when he was at the?
He's in
what was it, the
Oshkosh.
Leech.
No, because
I did not see him.
the only time I saw him was when he came to the Source because it was like $15.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
And then the last, when he came to Oshkosh, I wanted to go, but it was a minimum of 4 tickets, and
Oh.
that alone would have cost like $200.
But I believe, wasn't that a COVID thing?
Yeah, because he had like
like-
separate
Oh, they
pods.
Okay.
Pods, dude.
Pods of 4. That's right. That is.
I saw him,
that's true.
and this isn't me being like that guy, but like before he even had a record out, when he was just doing stuff with Don Julin,
Yeah.
he played Romp one year. He played like the 3 p.m. slot, and he was hilarious and super good.
Yeah, that,
He made a point of noting that the crowd was not enjoying all the songs about meth. And then he said, anyways, here's a song about meth.
yeah,
And I ran to the merch table and bought all his CDs.
you told me about him when you showed me that performance he did. I think it was in North or South Carolina. He was in that studio.
Yeah.
And
Was that the one where he has the tech deck?
I don't know.
Like midway through the performance, they're doing an interview. He reaches in his pocket and pulls out a tech deck and starts like doing tricks on top of his guitar with his
Oh.
tech deck. And like he's doing like kick flips and shit.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
He seems
He
like
might be the best guitar player of our generation.
really.
I would have to agree. There's
He's
some
certainly
really
up there.
good people coming out there. Have you listened to, there's a guy named Trey Hensley.
No.
Trey.
Bluegrass?
He's, I would say, up there or almost as good as Billy Strings as far as like flat picking and bluegrass guitar goes. He's crazy good.
Interesting.
Sext me a link.
I'll sext you that later.
With
The
or without a
picture
dick
of
pic?
my underwear.
Write it on.
Underwear.
Yes.
Oh, that's probably more classy.
Yeah, I'm
Don't
not,
go straight to the dick pic.
I want to entice you a little bit. See if you're
That
here for
seems
the
like
right
a pretty
reasons.
fair idea. Well, I think we've got some topics that are Packers related. Should we dive into the Packers Minute? What do we think about that?
I'm in.
Okay.
Dive in. We had the second of 3 preseason games. I think that what was it, 20-10, a little bit lower
Yes.
scoring. That's fine. I don't really.
But the Packers won, and no one thought they were going to.
And no one got hurt, which is
good.
the number one thing of preseason.
I will confess, I did not watch the game, but I have seen many highlights. Friday games are hard. I had 3 shows last week.
Yeah, once I got done with our show and I went home and I watched it.
I thought that show got canceled for rain. Did someone change the weather?
I heard the story.
Does someone have that kind of power now?
I don't know. Maybe, perhaps there is power amongst the band to control the weather.
Credence wrote a song about me.
Uh-huh.
I will, John. I will stop the rain.
Well, the good thing about us, well, the thing I was worried about, I should say, is that when we canceled the show, I knew that there were people who were planning on coming who saw that, but then didn't see the post about us playing again. But it didn't impact any. We had a really good turnout. Everybody was super rad and engaged. And
You got new shoes on there?
these are not new.
Are they Packer shoes?
They are. I liked them because they were sort of Packer
Yeah.
shoes. But these are Air Jordan 1s, green toe. They're 4 or 5 years old.
Nice.
But I saw them and I had to get them.
It's nice.
Yeah, they're super comfortable too.
Can you dunk in them?
I can dunk. I have not tried to dunk in a long time. I used to be able to dunk, but I could try to dunk in these. Maybe we'll do that.
It's got to be harder without the pump.
You need a
You know what I
pump
mean?
shoe.
On the tongue?
Yeah, I could dunk with a pump and a
You need that
significantly
extra
lower
power.
hoop.
That extra
pump and dunk.
airflow. The
Pump and dunk. That's terrible. So you actually watched the game.
I did. I watched.
Romeo had a catch.
Yeah, he had a domination of a 50-50 ball that he jumped over a really good defender, mind you, the number 2 cornerback for the Saints, who's very good.
It was a well-thrown ball, too. I heard a
It's a
stat
good
today
throw.
that Jordan Love has had 9 dropped passes.
That is true.
The second most for a quarterback is 5.
Mm.
So Jordan Love has had almost twice as many dropped passes as anyone else in the preseason so far.
He is. He's played a fair amount, too,
Yeah.
which I'm sure...
But it lends
drives
credence
that
to the
stuff.
idea that Rodgers, in publicly criticizing the receivers, was actually publicly defending Jordan Love.
Yeah.
And it's also worth noting, because I see both sides, like Rodgers should have done that in private, whatever.
I don't know.
But I also see like the receivers themselves have come out and said like,
Yeah,
it's fine. Got to hear it.
Yeah, you're
and I'm thinking
pros.
like, you're adult men getting paid millions of dollars. Everyone,
Yeah.
tough
Right.
up.
There's-
That's why they issued you a helmet. Let's go.
There's two things here. If Rodgers didn't care, he wouldn't say anything. So the fact that he does care and that he is like trying to fire dudes up, like if he thinks you suck, he isn't going to learn your name. He's not going to know who we are.
When he gets criticized for not being a leader, and
He's always
Tom
a
Brady gets celebrated for basically being the head coach of the Buccaneers, and then Rodgers says one thing, which is just factual, like if you're dropping balls, you're not going to get thrown balls.
Yeah.
And everyone goes like, Rodgers is abusing his receivers. Rah.
Well, it's like if you have one job and that's to run the right route and be in the right spot and catch the ball when it's there, and you can't do 1 or 2 or 3 of those things, you shouldn't play.
It'd be like if you showed up on Friday without your base, but you had everything else you needed.
Or
Like,
just
good.
or broke a string and just didn't change it.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically that's it. I was excited to see that 1, no injuries, but 2, I thought it was a good overall. They moved the ball pretty well, which was good to see. It'll be interesting if they actually play the starters this week. I don't know if that's going to happen.
I'm shocked. I don't know why you
Yeah.
would at this point.
I just feel like you probably
Feels like you're
don't
tempting
need to.
fate.
I mean, look, they take risks in practice every day too, right? They took risks against the Saints with an inter-squad full scrimmages last week.
See,
I mean, you got to take some chances, but at the same time, like I think the defense is fine. I don't think that their starters should really play very much because there's not much depth there.
No.
But I think the offense, I wouldn't mind seeing a couple of series out of Rodgers with the ones because they got to figure the offensive line out. Like they still haven't like settled on the starters, but.
I heard that the joint practices were the reason that like league wide the starters are not doing preseason because they're getting
They're getting more.
in the
They're
joint
getting
practices.
better. Yeah, they're getting better reps out of that for sure.
Bakhtiari's back.
Yep.
Ish.
Big Giraffe is back-ish, which means that they must think that he'll be ready in the first 4 weeks. Otherwise, they're eating up a roster spot. So
They said they weren't sure about week 1, but you know,
yeah, that's fine.
I think he's back and Tunnion's back and
If Elton Jenkins
Elton
can
Jenkins
also get
is
back,
Isn't he? I thought he was back.
well, he's in the same like status. He's activated,
Oh.
but he hasn't done like teamwork yet. Christian Watson did though. He's probably going to play this week, which sounds awesome. So I'm excited to see him.
I feel like the special teams kind of had a little bit of a rough day.
Oh my god.
Did
Yeah.
Dude,
They didn't
they
look
trotted
great.
out 10 players on a punt again, and then they trotted out 12 later on.
So it bounces out, right?
Oh my god.
Leave
Bisaccia
one,
wasn't
take
looking
one.
super happy on the sidelines.
Well, and I get it. Like a lot of these guys aren't going to be on the team. Like they're
Right.
just not.
And that's what like so many people I feel like still forget about. Like the Packers are going to suck this year. Like
Yeah, you
you
can't.
said that last year when we went 0-3 in preseason.
Yeah, preseason doesn't matter as long as you're getting through healthy and you can see enough out of players to know who should be starting, who should be playing, who should make the roster. That's all it's for. But anyway,
Deshaun Watson's a piece of shit.
oh fuck Deshaun
I
Watson.
haven't really heard a whole lot.
Here's what happened.
I know he got, what was it, 11 games?
He got 11 games.
He got
It's
11
12 weeks because there's a bye in there.
Right.
Here's why the NFL is kind of bullshit. One, you'll never guess what his first game back is. The Texans.
Texans.
Oh, geez, that worked out pretty good. That'll be good TV. 2, because everyone in Cleveland knows what he is, they structured his deal so that most of the money doesn't come in the first
It's
year because he's
fine.
going to be suspended for being a deviant.
Yeah.
And the game checks that he's losing during his suspension total $666,666. And then he released a statement saying he takes accountability for his actions and he's sorry for those he hurt. Then he walked out to a podium and said, I didn't do anything. I'm innocent and I didn't do anything. It's like, those aren't the same.
He'd be a great politician.
Oh.
Yeah. Like,
Anyway.
my thing is, if at this point he can't say that he did anything wrong, that's
It's
ridiculous.
a little. He thinks you know what? When people say stuff like that, it's because he thinks everybody else is stupid,
Yes.
enough to believe it.
Even if he didn't do every single thing he's accused of doing, which I tend to believe that he did,
Yeah.
it's still undeniable. Like, the stuff he admitted, his lawyer admitted, he hired women for massages and then had sex with a lot of them. And he's still going, I didn't do anything wrong. Well, that's wrong, Deshaun. You're not supposed to do that.
It was.
Why'd the Texans have to pay all those ladies?
This week we have a new segment. We are going to start introducing some guests into the mix.
We're going to start with the only other person I know.
We could do a segment called Ask a New Old Thing, and it could be people who've been in the new old things that we just call randomly without telling them and ask them questions.
Sure.
But we can also get other guests too. But I have a theme song picked out.
Okay.
I'm going to call Ryan because I think it'll be important for. I don't know if we can really hear it, but anyway, should we call Ryan?
Sure.
Let's call Ryan. Let's give Ryan a quick call. He is at home, I believe. He said he's looking forward to it. Let's see
He's
if he
hanging at the
actually.
practice space.
What the fuck are you?
He's hanging at the practice space right now. That's funny. Ryan, there he is. And I believe we are connected. So let's try this thing here. Let's see if he's home.
Hello.
Ryan.
Oh,
Ryan, can you hear us?
I can hear you guys.
Oh, and we can hear you.
it's very quiet though.
Yeah, let me see if I can get this.
Yeah, turn up the snare.
We'll turn up the snare drum. All right. Can you talk, Ryan?
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh, that's
Yeah,
that's
that's
much
good.
better. That's much better.
Beautiful.
So, you are our very first guest on the New Old podcast. So,
I'm so
just so
honored.
you know, the speaker that you are coming out of is very close to the ginger stick's leg.
Hi, Ryan.
It's
Hello.
it's very erotic. It's very erotic.
First question.
We've
What
got-
makes you think you're better than Adam? This podcast is all about controversy.
I guess genetics.
That's very true.
Genetics? That's a good answer.
We should be a 2-drummer band.
We
It'd be
should-
fun.
Like
We are not the Grateful Dead.
we are not. The
Or Fish. I don't think they have 2 drummers, but they suck. I'm sorry.
Do you think those bands get 2 drummers because they just got high and forgot they had one and then hired another one?
I would really like to
one of
hear.
them is a drug dealer.
Oh, that could be.
A lot of drummers do drugs.
This drummer does not.
Not
do
me.
Ryan does not do them. Or Adam.
No.
Well,
I
there's
won't.
2
I
of us.
can't.
Maybe drummers don't do drugs.
Maybe
Tommy Lee lied to me. A lot of drummers have big giant hogs.
Not true.
Hashtag OnlyFans /gingerstick to go check it out for yourself.
Why do you think only my feet are on there? Come on.
Oh boy, that's not his leg. Just kidding. Oh boy. Well, we've got some rapid fire questions for you.
Okay.
Do the best you can to answer. If you say something controversial, I'm not cutting it.
Ooh.
Ooh, maybe I will. If it's bad. So, first question, Adam, from you. You had a couple questions that you were going to ask. What is your first question for Ryan?
What makes a good record? We'll talk about that.
What makes a good record? Wow, that is a great question. Rapid fire, though, I got to answer. Man, what makes a good record is, I think there's some sort of continuity that holds it all together where you know it's a record, but every song has at least something unique about it. So continuity with uniqueness. And kind of personally, I think if you've got a record that comes from a band, not just like a singer-songwriter, that feels like the band contributed on the record.
Great
Where
answer.
Not just like cool parts, but it feels like a band performed the record.
But at the same time, you don't want a band to get in the way of really good songwriting. Like if you have a singer-songwriter who hires a band because he's a nice guy and he wants to give these guys a chance to have some fun too.
You could play some bongos on this song or so. You know?
We'll give you a tambourine for this one. Sounds good.
Next question.
Good question.
What was your first band, and what kind of style was it, Ryan?
My first band was called. Oh, this is a good story. It was a band that played everything from Hotel California by the Eagles to Twist and Shout by the Beatles to All the Small Things by Blink-182 to Enter Sandman by Metallica.
I get why you're so excited to be in our band.
I know. We played in 5th through 8th grade at the talent show, so we practiced for weeks and weeks and weeks to play one song for 4 minutes in front of our student body.
Did you win?
Oh, it wasn't a contest, but we always won.
Goddamn snowflakes. No one can win.
Whoever played last. But I did throw my drumsticks in the crowd after we played Enter Sandman, and I hit a kindergartner girl in the face.
Yeah.
And then the nuns wanted to suspend me.
Take that, kindergartner!
Yeah, and then I had to write an apology letter to the school, and then I had to read it over the announcements while this nun sat behind me. Fantastic.
That's a good story.
Yeah.
What about you? Question?
Question.
Yep.
Favorite drummer of all time? And why is it Stuart Copeland?
I love Stuart Copeland. Oh, I'm going to get so much flack for this.
Lars.
Growing up, I obviously loved Travis Barker.
Well,
He
yeah.
influenced so much of me, of course, generationally, right? So I'd say that growing up, he was obviously my favorite. So many people say John Bonham, stylistically and all that.
That's a good one.
God, I have to say Travis Barker, though.
Sure.
Almost embarrassingly.
I'm going to get you a flanger pedal for your hi-hat. So you can make that whooshy Blink-182 whoosh.
Yes.
It's in like every song. Even like when Travis Barker produces stuff, it's in every song.
He does that.
But Travis Barker's
I would
good.
say
He's
now-
undeniable.
I would say now, though, I love Jason McGurr from Death Cab.
He's got a good pocket feel.
Oh.
Incredible drummer, yeah.
Nice slang. I like it.
Oh, good. Good drummer slang there.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Adam, any other questions? We got 2 questions.
Two
of the
questions
5
left.
Yes.
Do you play guitar, Ryan? Just if you don't, this question won't really apply.
I do enough.
Okay, then if you could own only one guitar, price doesn't matter, what would it be?
Can we specify like?
You can go as in depth as you want with
But
it.
I'm saying, like, would it have to be like a model of guitar, or could I say like I want Joe Strummer's Telly?
You could say that
Ooh.
because that's
I
what my
want
answer.
Joe Strummer's Telly.
There it is.
But I wanted it for. Can I have it? If you get it, can I borrow it?
I would say I love Jazzmasters and Jaguars, and so I would say give me the nicest Jazzmaster with the components, because right now I just got kind of a run-of-the-mill one that I love. I love the way they look. I like the way they sound. But just a really nice Jazzmaster.
There you
That's all I
go.
need.
That's a good answer. Do you have a question?
Good
for
question
him?
from the drummer.
Maybe a curveball question.
Thanks,
A
Ryan.
curveball question.
Yeah.
Who's the worst person we've opened for?
There it is.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's a group. That's way better than mine.
I'm just thinking of the song Pillar to Post a little bit.
That's pretty funny. No one's gonna get that, and that's good.
That's
but
good.
It's funny.
It's a good one. I think
Curveball question. Do you have a tattoo you regret?
I have a giant cover up on my chest that I wish I would have thought out before I had gotten the original tattoos.
Is that the Backstreet Boys one?
So, It's the NSYNC one. You got that
It's insane.
slightly off.
No,
But
it's
yeah,
just
it's-
Justin Timberlake.
Sure.
I want it that way. I covered it up with a big eagle.
I Want It That Way is the Backstreet Boys song.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah.
It says bye 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 on my back.
There you go. But the Further Seems Forever
No,
version?
I was young and I got my first tattoo on my chest, and it just didn't fill the space nicely. I'm doing a cover up, and it's still not done.
So it's not something like you, it doesn't say like Weed Forever or anything.
No.
Okay.
No, it doesn't.
It's ayahuasca forever.
Doesn't say number one OJ fan.
OJ.
Yeah.
What was the worst tattoo that you've ever seen somebody have? Or the biggest tattoo mistake that you've ever
It's always the misspellings.
misspellings?
So I used to work in a tattoo shop for a bit. Chris, I know you did too.
Yeah.
I saw a kid come in and get a giant Wu-Tang symbol on his neck on his 18th birthday.
Ooh.
That
Yikes.
was bad news.
Wu-Tang, great band. Bad tattoo idea.
When I worked at the shop, a girl came in to get the Alkaline Trio logo tattooed on her. And I said, "Oh, what do you think of their new record?" And she said, "What do you mean?" And I said, "They put out a record like 2 days ago." And she said, "Who?" And I said, "Trio." And she said, "What's Trio?" And I said, "This is the logo for a very, very popular Chicago punk band." And she goes, "Oh, I never heard of them." And then there was this awkward pause, and she goes, "So can I make the appointment?" I'm going, "No. No, you may not."
Why? Why? Well, I think that has been a very successful sort of lightning round of probably 7 or 8 general questions in there.
I have one more.
Okay, one more.
If we were going to do a tribute set, who would you want it to be?
Ooh, that's good.
Ooh. I know we talked about not doing the Clash because you can't do a British accent.
Right.
Terrible.
But, I think an old 97 tribute set would be fun.
Old 97.
Ooh, that would be fun.
We could always try out something where I've got an accent.
Australia-ish? What's going on?
Yeah, we'll pick a band that's from Australia.
We'll do a Hugh Jackman
We'll do
tribute
a
set.
Hugh Jackman is the lead singer of a cover band.
The Crocodile Dudes.
Crocodile Dundee. Oh yeah. Well, anyway, we're gonna
Love
play,
you, buddy.
We're gonna play our outro
Love
music.
you guys.
See you Wednesday.
Thanks for joining
Take
us.
care.
We appreciate
Bye-bye.
it.
There's
Brian
outro music?
Gracie is part of the band, and he did a really good job. That was really good.
Oh, yeah.
Good for us. First ever call. General success. We'll see what it sounds like when I listen to the audio
Yeah.
later, but it seemed like it went okay.
That was good.
Okay. So I had kind of a social awareness question for you, and it
Yo.
happened after our show on Friday. So I'm back in the bar of the place we played, Fox River House,
Yep.
and a very nice gentleman comes up and says, and he's got a little bit of a buzz going, says, "Oh, you guys are awesome." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that." And he's like, "Let me get you a shot." I'm like, "Oh, no, thanks. I'm good." He's like, "Let me get you a shot." And I'm like, "No, I'm good." He's like, "What? Not good enough to have a shot?" And I'm like,
Oh, really?
"I just don't drink, man." "Oh, we'll get you a shot of water." And I'm like, "Okay."
Big spender.
And I'm like, that felt really weird. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, it's not a big deal. I appreciate the thought, man, but it's not a personal attack for me to say no.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. I don't mean to make you mad.
Right. That's
It's a
interesting.
little weird.
I've not ever encountered that before, and I've turned down drinks before just because like we have to drive home or something.
Yeah, it was okay. It was fine. Anybody have any weird social situations of late?
I have one.
What happened to you?
The short version is I got an email that looked weird, so I screenshotted it. Screenshot it?
Screenshot it.
You
took a
shooted
screenshot.
it.
Take
of
a
it?
screenshot. So if you the past tense
I
verb
took a
of-
screenshot.
I took a
Yeah.
screenshot. I saw a meme once that said if you press your temple and your taint at the same time, you can screenshot your soul.
Wow. Okay.
Anyways,
Hell of a meme.
so So I screen shooted this thing, and I shot it over to Tori, and I said, "Look at this weird email." She called the bank, and the short version is someone got a hold of Tori's credit card info, and went to like a wire transfer place and tried to transfer themselves $200. So we caught this. The company refunded the money. They canceled Tori's card. They're sending a new one.
Yep.
But what nobody did is try to catch this guy. And when I said, like, let's catch this guy, the whole world just went,
They're all insured for that stuff. So
Right.
They just don't care.
yeah. So, like, right and wrong side of thing. And my thing, especially, like, there must be, because he tried, it's not like a person went into Target with sunglasses and a ball cap on and used our card. It's like, who did he transfer the money to? Or she? I'm not trying to begender. I'm saying no one cares.
Something like that happened to me about 2 years ago. I keep a pretty close eye on my credit card statement for business travel, so I know what to get reimbursed for expenses and things, except for this $1,200 of purchases from Fanatics. And I'm like, I don't think I spent $1,200 at Fanatics.
It's believable that you could, though. I wonder if they
I
did that on
could.
purpose. Like they
I could.
researched you.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so I'm going through the process. They're like, all right, no big deal. We'll get you a new card. We'll try to get this traced or whatever, but you'll see the money. It takes 48 hours or whatever to do whatever, but basically it was in my account. It's all insured anyway, but I'm just like, out of all the things, dude, you got a credit card somehow stolen from some hacked database, and you thought, I need to get me $1,200 worth of shit from Fanatics.
Yeah. I don't understand, like, not trying to. I've been noticing it more
Not
and
the
more.
Apple store, not an electronics store.
Sure. I was saying, like,
Fanatics.
I've noticed more and more, like, in like the last month, the amount of like something kind of terrible happened. Like, hey, someone tried to rob me, and people go, well, you know, people get robbed. I don't like what. Boo. Who cares? Or, you know, like, you just see stuff like, I don't know. Like, anytime you get a spam email that's like, hey, give us your information, and you know it's a scam, it's still like attempted robbery. And no one does anything about it. Like, well, yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
Or like when you get those letters that say like, hey, just so you know.
the Nigerian prince wants to hand you.
Or even like Tori and I occasionally will get like a letter from like our insurance company or something, or Target or whatever, that says, hey, just so you know, there was a data breach.
Yeah.
And your thing might have been compromised. And I'm going like,
Change your password.
yeah, but
Blah, blah,
like,
yeah.
there's no like accountability for like, we're not going to try to catch the guy. We're not even sorry. Shit happens.
Well, like I said, it comes down to insurance, like car insurance. Like people are like, shit happens, we'll get it fixed.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do about it.
Well, I
Well-
want to catch this guy.
Gonna catch or girl.
It's your life
Or girl.
goal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Couldn't believe it.
What's you, Adam? Anybody try to steal from you?
Yes, they actually did a couple
Oh.
of months ago.
No.
Not
Wow.
Did they catch the guy?
not
Or did
that
the
I'm
whole police force give you the finger and tell you to go home?
Well, I got my money back, so I didn't really pursue it. But
problem, man.
Annette normally keeps more track of the bank accounts. She said, did you spend a couple grand at a lighting store and didn't tell me about it?
But again, believable. It could have been like a work expense. Weird, dude.
But yeah, it was the same thing. But then, yeah, about
Interesting.
a couple of days later, it was all back. But yeah, a couple grand at a lighting store.
You watch all these Law and Order shows and you think like, oh, people commit a crime, and as long as they've, you know, jizzed on something, we'll catch them.
Well, what's
Maybe that's the problem.
Not
Maybe
enough.
the people
there's no
stealing our
semen
credit card
involved.
information aren't jizzing on enough
There's
stuff.
no sperm DNA
well, like
anywhere.
what was crazy to me is like I have, like I.
times it's gonna cut to just us laughing hysterically.
Well, I don't know why we can't keep that part.
Well, what's like crazy to me is
It's true.
I have like a PlayStation account and
Yeah.
they canceled my card. They didn't tell me. They never tell you when they cancel your card. You just find out when you're in line somewhere. But it was for like $5. But then this happened, and oh no, we're not even gonna let you know about it. It's
Right.
fine.
Right.
Well, that's what's frustrating too. Like when something like that happens and you have to cancel your card, then because we live in the modern era, you have to go through like the 100 accounts that your card is associated with and update it
Yep.
so that your account doesn't get canceled when they try to run it next month and it gets bleh.
Right.
That was the part Tori was the most mad about because, like, as soon as she made her peace with the fact that it happened and we got the money back, I said, we have to go
Update
through
your
every
card
account we have. And she was
on every account.
See, they never updated my card when this happened.
oh,
You should get a new bank.
Probably should.
indeed.
Well, that's not fun. How about any other topics? There was a couple topics on the text chat today.
I mean, I feel like even the questions that we asked Ryan.
Yeah, I
could
thought the
be
questions he
dispersed
asked
throughout
Gracie,
the group.
if you could only have one guitar, and would it be a guitar, or would you want to go bass?
I would probably just go guitar. I'll just buy a bass with that I want. But it's harder for me to justify spending money on a guitar when I have 3 of them and I don't play them enough already. But what I would say is I really, really like some of those really old semi-hollow body Gibsons.
Sure.
So like the ES300 is beautiful. Like
Yep.
one of those would be super nice. I would absolutely love that. But I also like Ryan. I like the Jazz Masters. I like Jaguars too a lot. But I think I would probably go, probably semi-hollow body ES300 something.
But is the question you can only have one?
Yes.
Oh, so does that change it?
Oh.
Because for me, it's if we're talking electric guitars and you can only have one, it's Telecaster all day long. It's
If you
gotta
can
be.
only have one.
Let's broaden it back out. You can't. It's not. You can only have one. But if money was no object and you could just go out and buy this guitar or bass, what would you buy?
Either a Gretsch White Falcon or a Gibson SJ200 with the dandelion pickguard and the mustache bridge and the big giant. Oof.
Yeah. That's good too. I don't know. I think it's actually going to be a Jazzmaster. Fully tricked out, maybe Daphne blue color, something that looks real nice.
What color mine is?
I think that would be it. I don't know what kind of pickups I'd go with though.
Curtis Novak. That's what I'm going to put in mine.
Oh.
You know how I found out? I've been wanting to change the pickups out, and J.D. McPherson is on tour playing guitar for Alison Krauss and Robert Plant.
Oh,
And he's using a Jazzmaster.
really?
And I commented on his Instagram, and I said, hey, man, what kind of pickups do you have in there? And he responded immediately and said, Curtis Novak's.
Really?
And then I was telling Tate Sampson about it, and he goes, yeah, that's what I put in mine.
Oh,
Yeah, small world.
Tate, shout out, Red Hawks. We love Tate. And he's got excellent taste in guitars too,
He does.
and tone.
Jazzmasters.
Jazzmasters mostly, yes. What was the other question? What other questions did we have? for
Well, Adam,
Ryan?
what guitar?
I'd buy Tony Rice's guitar.
See, that I didn't know if we were doing
We can do that.
I mean, I already kind of have Tony Rice's guitar.
You do, and it was amazing, and I love it.
Well, if you ever want to use it.
What about your first band, Adam? What was your
My
first
first band was called Anemic. It was a 2-piece punk band with my friend Chris Palm in, I think it was middle school. We played like 2 shows. We played at Mongo's. That was a really fun one because it was pretty packed.
Oh, yeah.
And they were,
I totally forgot about that
yeah.
place.
He was really good friends with the guys. And do you remember the band Elmo or Face for Radio? They were like,
I remember that name.
so
something like that.
he was really good friends with them. So we played with them. I subbed in on some shows on drums with them. But yeah, I think we played like 1 or 2 shows.
Oh.
And that was it. That was my first band ever.
And that was Appleton area?
Yeah.
The first band that I was in was a band called Blew It. And it was myself, my friend Matt and Kevin, and I sang and played bass, and then Justin Kibble, friend of the show, came in and also played bass in that band.
Really? I'm not sure I knew that.
Yeah.
What fun.
Justin
a
wants to
small
be a
world.
guest on the show.
As he should be.
Well, we'll wait and see.
See how he plays his cards.
Play your cards right, Justin. Maybe get us some free old Dutch chips or something.
Ooh. He did that last time. Or you did that for him.
I did that for him.
Yeah.
By the way, old Dutch chips,
The right chips.
pound for pound, might be the greatest chips of all time.
Does a pretzel fall in line with chips?
No.
No.
Because my
Separate category.
A chip has to be made out of a potato. Chip
Okay.
is short for potato chip.
Yes, true.
Pretzels is a different category.
I will say Dots honey mustard pretzel sticks
Those are pretty good.
my new favorite thing right now.
Sure.
Okay, well, let's skip to pretzels. What's your favorite pretzel?
I think chips is a little bit more broad.
Yeah. I don't know if I have a favorite pretzel.
I would say
I mean, a
like
rolled
this-
gold never did me wrong.
Rolled gold is solid. I would say Snyder's buffalo
Ooh,
wing.
or even the honey mustard ones.
Yes, those are super good too.
Is a combo a pretzel? Because those are terrible.
They all taste the same.
Combos are one of those.
Yeah.
I feel this way about combos and chicken McNuggets. They must have gotten worse.
They've gotten worse.
Because as a kid, I remember both of them were like really, really good. And I know part of that is like as a kid, your taste is not good.
Right.
But also like they must be worse than they used to be.
I've had them. I think they are worse. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is. If it's the filling doesn't have as much flavor as I thought it did, or
I'm heartbroken about chicken nuggets though. Remember how good a chicken nugget used to be?
do you
They
remember?
are
You get them
worse.
and they're like,
It's just mush.
Gooey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not good.
I haven't eaten a chicken nugget in a really long time.
I haven't either.
But do
They're
you
terrible.
remember? And it wasn't at all McDonald's. On Monday nights, they used to have this thing called Family Night, and it was a 20-piece McNugget. Oh my god!
We've all been there.
That was the best. You get 6
I
dipping
need
sauces.
a
and you
20-piece McNugget and 15 honey packets. Let's go.
oh my god!
Their hot mustard was so good.
That was
too.
actually pretty good. When their barbecue, as we talked about, is so good, people eat it out of their car.
Yeah. You want to hear a good idea I had? A really, really good idea I had that still has not. I've been talking about this for 10 years. Chicken nugget flavored Pringles. Because almost every other Pringle is the flavor of something you would dip a McNugget in. So you get your McNugget Pringles and your barbecue, ranch,
You can
honey
stack
mustard,
them together.
whatever, and you stack them shits.
That's a very good idea.
I know.
I mean, you could
This is
do
America.
like
How has that not happened?
you could have the combined can.
Yeah,
So they're
yeah.
stacked.
Just every other,
Yeah.
There's got to be a chicken flavor Pringles somewhere.
Well, they have,
I
like-
feel like they did like
They have like chicken and waffle lays.
maybe that's what I'm thinking
Yeah,
of.
but that's too much.
Those were okay. Like those weren't like I don't know. When they were going through that whole like pick the next whatever, it's like, well, if you got all dressed chips in the mix, that's the one you pick.
Dude, I love an all-dressed chip.
They're so
good.
good.
I don't know why that hasn't happened in America for real. Like there was a while where there was one store in town you could get like Ruffles was doing one. It was
Yeah.
so good. Do you want to hear an enraging food thing?
Yeah.
Have you
Worse
had-
than
have you
the
ever had-
nacho cheese on an omelet.
It's almost as bad.
What is it?
It's not as bad. You ever had poutine before?
Yeah.
You ever had poutine
Yes.
before? It's fantastic. I was at a place and they were like, "Oh, we have poutine," and I was like, "Oh, make that happen." And they're like, "Only thing though, it doesn't have gravy on it."
That's
I'm like,
three
"That's
quarters
not
of the poutine.
It's not. Yeah. What is? It's not poutine.
It
then.
has to have. It's just fries mixed together with shit. Then
It's fries and cheese curds. That's not. That's just a pile of things you had laying around.
Huh.
It's not. That's
I
not.
feel like gravy is the requirement for sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I would be more comfortable calling it poutine if it didn't have fries or cheese curds.
but it needs
But
gravy.
it has to.
have
The gravy is what like makes it pop, and usually the thing that like makes it unique, place to place, because they make their
Right.
own gravy, and it's no gravy.
That's
Just
That's a tough one.
that's
not
basically
poutine.
a sample basket.
Right.
That's what they should call that.
Yeah. It's
So-
it's an appetizer platter.
So back to chips.
Yes.
I think, again, Old Dutch, pound for pound, the amount of flavors. They've got kettle chips. They've got crunchy chips. They've got box chips. They've got spicy chips. They've got everything.
Now, are we going by just the amount of variety that they have, or the flavor of it?
I think the flavor, because their buffalo mac and cheese
Those are good.
are incredibly
Those
good.
are really. You got me onto those. Those are good.
They own Old Dutch has their like Crunchers or whatever. Like they're not the actual Crunchers brand.
I was gonna say my thing is the barbecue crunchers is like
That's
a
a pretty.
good shit.
That's a pretty good. Crunchers are real good.
yeah.
Whoever
And the
made
bag
that.
is kind of small.
Yeah.
So if you eat the whole thing, you don't feel like a fat ass.
Yeah.
But like you shouldn't, but you could.
Those jalapeno
Wouldn't be that bad.
Those jalapeno crunchers are
This-
next level on a sandwich.
You had the sweet Hawaiian onion ones.
Those are good. Those will be gone.
Zowie.
Those
Is
will
there
be
a bad cruncher?
I don't think I've ever had
don't-
Crunchers.
Get right out of town.
Well, Adam's not a spicy guy, so that means probably just the Maui onion one is the
barbecue's not that
That's
spicy.
barbecue.
I
I
don't
guess
think.
barbecue.
Like, I can
Tasty.
handle, like, jalapeno spice isn't terrible, but really
Oh,
anything
yeah.
above that, count me out.
This is
But
pretty good.
I would have to say my favorite chip is probably garden salsa sun chips.
Those,
Those
are
are
good.
really like
those are
those a
real
lot.
good too.
Yep. Those
I
are good.
recently had the lime ones. They're like the limited edition ones. Chili lime.
Ooh,
They're
yes.
very very good.
That sounds delicious.
They're like I think it's like harvest cheddar.
Yes.
Those are good too.
You know what's weird about Funyuns? They're almost too crunchy, where you can only eat a handful of them before they start like cutting the roof of my mouth.
It's Captain Crunch syndrome.
I was just
It
gonna
is
say
Captain
that's
Crunch.
It's
Crunch
the
berries
food
right
that
there.
you want to eat all of, but it hurts you
It
so
hurts
bad.
to eat.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still gonna eat Funyuns,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I just
I
realized
haven't had a Funyun in like a decade, I
It's
think.
been a long time.
they're still good.
But they're really good. You ever shudder? I don't know if you did, but sometimes I'll be at the grocery store in like the lunch meat section and I'll see bologna and I'll just shudder at how much bologna I ate as a kid.
Oh my god!
Like you couldn't pay me to eat a piece of bologna now.
No,
and it used to be like, and just like the shittiest 2 pieces of Wonder Bread and some Miracle Whip and fake slice of cheese.
plastic cheese,
And 2 pieces of bologna, and like, how did I even make it this far, dude?
one of many things that my mom taught me that I still apply today is that we only eat cheese when it comes in one container.
And if
Not
they can
ones that are
legally,
individually sliced in plastic.
and if they can legally call it cheese,
If they can
have to call them
legally
Kraft
call it
singles
cheese.
because
Yeah,
it's not
cheese, it's
cheese.
corn.
Hey, you know what though? Did you know the stuff at Dairy Queen? There's nothing wrong with it. The stuff at Dairy Queen is not technically ice cream.
What?
If you Google it, it doesn't have enough
Dairy?
milk fat or something in it
Oh.
to be called ice cream. So it's A, probably a little bit better for you. B, it's delicious. I love Dairy Queen. But it's not ice cream.
So here's another question.
Soft serve.
Ice cream, frozen custard, or frozen yogurt?
Ice cream.
None of the above.
Poops.
Yeah, boobs.
Them dang old poops.
Oh, you
I
can't-
don't like.
I don't eat a lot of that stuff either, but I tend to like frozen custard a little bit more now.
Okay.
I would, if I had to pick, I'd say ice cream, but like just
You got a dairy sensitivity? Or an
kind
ice cream
of.
sensitivity?
But I just don't like. Like I was never super into popsicles or ice cream or anything like that.
I can't bite cold
Like
stuff.
that's
so popsicles
what
were a
it
no
is.
for
Like
me.
if I
But
watch
free
somebody
pops.
bite a popsicle, like it just I just shiver
Fucking
all
ice
over.
cream sandwiches were the worst. Like,
can't
just
do it.
people honking
They get
into those
stuck to your
things.
teeth and
Cold.
I'd say if I had to do ice cream, I'd do like a chocolate malt or something
Cool.
like
I'm
that.
going hot fudge sundae every time.
So, a couple weeks ago, what was the big like hubbub about a chocolate thing where they stopped making cow pies or something?
Choco Tacos.
Choco
Those are
Tacos.
amazing.
Those are
Those
good.
were good.
But you got to bite into them. It's hard.
You don't like popsicles, but you like
Choco
a waffle
Tacos.
cone covered in chocolate.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did. I won't eat it, but I loved it.
Yeah.
Literally the worst thing in your grocer's freezer.
What? It's basically an ice cream cone in a taco form. It's
Yeah.
the same ingredients.
Yeah, I guess. I guess. In the
It's-
form of
Zim
taco.
likes tacos so much that fake ones offend him.
Fake ones offend me.
So if you say
Can't put
that
hot
I,
sauce on this.
like, can I say that I like Taco John's?
What do you like at taco? I mean,
I haven't eaten at Taco John's. I'm not sure.
a potato allee is undeniable.
Their grilled stuffed taco is fantastic.
You know whose food is underrated? DQ.
Oh,
Dairy
yeah.
Queen's like grilled food
Yeah.
is underrated.
And if you find a Dairy Queen that has hot food, they also probably have funnel cake.
really,
What's up?
funnel cake.
I'm not going to say the name of the place. But there's a place that I bet we've all been to a bunch and have like loving, fond memories of.
Uh-oh.
I've been going there for at least 15 years. Tori said she's been going there over 30 years. And we walked in today, and the owner was there, and he was wearing a shiny new Make America Great Again hat.
Can you tell me what place this is after we're done?
Yes. And I had this moment of like, shit. But my thing is like, can I keep coming here and feel good about myself? And I don't think that I can. And I was a little conflicted because I was saying like, I welcome people like at our shows, for example, that think
Yeah.
differently than me.
Yep.
And I want is part of that arrangement that like, if you make a really good burger, I'll go eat your burger, but I don't agree with your shit because you're also like employing some people and
Right?
but at the same time, it's like it was a new hat. So like now is when
Now
you're going,
is when you're gonna pull that one out, huh?
and it's just like, and then we start having this conversation of like, to be be a good person, you have to let the political become like personal and inform your life. But like, where do you really think, like, how many chains of anything are there that at the top don't have a Republican? You know what I'm saying? So like, is it an all or nothing thing, or is it just like, well, if we know for sure that this guy is, then we'll go somewhere else?
I think it's an awareness thing. It's the like you can have your politics however you want. I get it. I totally get it. But that specific move,
That's what I said.
is a little bit like you should know that if you're a business owner,
He chose to let the two things overlap, not me.
You can keep
Not
your
smart.
stuff. You can keep your stuff quiet because it's. Guess what? It's going to impact who comes to your place.
Yeah.
And it's just probably not a good business move.
Because I was talking to
end of the
Ollie
day,
about it, and he
Is
brought up
once you tell me what after we shut off what it is, I'm not going to
It's
go
over.
there.
Yeah, and I don't think we aren't. But I was talking to Oliver about it, and he goes, well, what about the idea of like separating the art from the artist? And I thought that was a good point, especially a fairly nuanced point for a 13-year-old to make. But then I pointed out, like, but if his art is this place, basically, he chose to wear that hat to this place. So, like, it's like you can't separate the art from the artist if the art is also, like, Aaron Lewis.
Right.
Like, his songs are about being a chud. So you can't ever forget that he's a chud.
It's like
That man talked shit about Bruce Springsteen in a song. And it's getting really hard. Not hard, but it's getting complicated the longer history gets and the more we learn about people. Because back in the day, you didn't know anything about anybody, really.
Nope.
And now it's like...
Truth,
We're
truth
starting-
meters everywhere.
Yeah, and we're starting to have people that, like, in this one area of life did some amazing things, and then in this other area of life did horrible, nightmarish, monstrous things. And
Well-
what are you supposed to do with those people in your head?
Yeah. Well, I think part of that too is mental health discussions in general have not really been on the radar, especially for men, until recently. It was sort of like toughen the fuck up and get past it. But by nature, nobody really pushed anybody else's behavior to question it. So if you look at like Bill Cosby, fucked up dude,
Yes.
but clearly there's a mental illness there. Maybe there's some sexual abuse in his past or something that caused him to do these things repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly. There's a pattern of behavior that's broken that probably never got addressed because of who he was and his status. He could get away with things. There was less visibility to things. Doesn't make it right.
And he was making people a lot of money.
Right. And he was making people a lot of money. And I think at the end of the day, that also changes people's ability to cover things up. We've all seen that. But I do think that a product of that is probably just people didn't talk about issues as much because they weren't as aware of them. And then is it Patton Oswalt who made the joke that everybody knew that Bill Cosby was doing this? How was this like, or was it him that broke? It was one comedian who
No,
had
that was
Hannibal Buress.
Hannibal Buress. Yeah.
Who's amazing.
Yeah.
But he made the joke. He's like, how does nobody else know this? Everybody knew this.
Yeah,
for
the
years.
joke was about how Bill Cosby gives young black men shit for the way they wear their pants, but like he rapes women.
Yeah,
And that's what started the whole
that's
thing.
what started the whole thing.
Because Bill Cosby had like stand-up bits
yeah,
about drugging women. And like
yeah,
and that's like, as a society, someone made Bill Cosby the most famous comedian in the world.
yeah.
And laughed at those bits. And I mean, maybe you could say like, you assume that's a joke. I don't know.
It's hard though, especially with your comedian, because your job is to make social commentary and be outlandish in doing so and exaggerate in some cases.
Yeah.
But still, it doesn't wipe away the behavior. But I do think, hopefully, that people become more aware of things that problems that other people have mentally, that maybe they will get addressed before they become a bigger issue.
And not to let those people off the hook, but to
No,
protect
absolutely not.
other people.
But-
This is a
yeah.
fun podcast.
This is a really interesting turn we've taken here.
Adam,
Yeah.
speaking of comedy,
Commodity.
comedery,
Comedery.
comederiety,
Yes.
we're all Mulaney fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't watch.
Oh, big Mulaney fan. You went and saw his new thing. I've heard it's
I
very,
did.
very, very good.
It is.
liked it?
So,
I heard it's different than what he's kind of known for.
well, that's kind of what I was expecting because, yes, he did. But
have a weird year.
Annette looked up some reviews. She said, I couldn't help myself. I wanted to see what this is all about. And I guess when he first brought this out, it was a lot darker, a lot different. I guess it sounded similar to like what Dane Cook did when his parents died and he came back and his whole shtick was just way different. But I guess he pared some stuff back, added some new things. So it was like a matured John Mulaney set, but it still felt like him.
Interesting.
Have you seen that? He was on Seth Meyers. It's on YouTube. I don't think it aired. But it's like 20 minutes of him talking about his intervention.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Oh.
He does a lot about that.
Pretty good.
Intervention.
Yeah, John Mulaney went to rehab for a year, got divorced, started dating Olivia Munn. They had a baby together. Big year.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is a big year.
Which it's funnier because like I think in most of his previous specials, he would always talk about, I'm never having kids. We're just not going to have kids.
And he also very much had this sort of like new era Seinfeld, wears a suit and a tie. And I did not think that he was addicted to cocaine.
He did like a one joke encore where he brought back the salt and pepper diner joke.
I heard that.
It was awesome. It was
Sweet.
really cool.
What is that? The
Salt and pepper diner. How him and his buddy go in and they put a bunch of money into the jukebox and they punch in 21 plays of What's New Pussycat, and then they just sit there and watch everybody implode.
Oh my God. So I had a similar experience back in college. There's a certain bar that's very frequented by most of the college students near UW Oshkosh that had just put in a brand new Touch Tunes with, at the time, breakthrough technology of a Bluetooth remote control. So that if you're behind the bar, you can turn it on. You can
I'm
do the
genuinely
next
surprised
song.
they had that back then.
Yeah, so this is like 2004, 5, or 6, right
Really,
around that
those
range.
were that.
But it was like a
Those way
big
back
thing.
then.
So anyway, may have gotten my hands on that remote. May have hid it for a while and brought it to me, and it was so powerful, like the Bluetooth, I could keep it in my pocket. And as soon as I heard a pop country song, I just changed it. And people would get so pissed, and they're like, "What the fuck is wrong with your jukebox?" And this went on for months and months, and I don't think I ever, until this time, have fully outed myself as the person doing that. But it was awesome because people knew I had it, and I'm like, I don't have it, and all of a sudden, like I would just have my hand on my pocket and push the button through my pocket and it would change the song. I'm like, see, I don't have it. The song just changed. And they're like, oh yeah. It's so fucking funny. I spent a lot of that money at that bar. They could easily afford to get a new one. Any other topics? Anything else? I just want to try this new sound effect. Let me. What
I have. It's not. It's like an announcement.
Well, it looks like crap.
Okay, here's the thing. I hate social media. I don't want to be on it. I don't want to use it. I don't want to check it. I don't want to nothing. But I'm a musician, and it's a really sometimes handy way to let people know what you're doing and stay in touch with them. And my group of people that likes my music, they're fun people to talk to. I like when they comment on stuff and that kind of thing. If people like this podcast, they need to like subscribe or whatever people do, wherever they do it, so that I don't have to go on Facebook and tell them when there's a new episode, because I don't want to. I want to be outside playing catch with my son.
Well, luckily it only takes a few seconds because I literally tag you both, and you could open it up and click share.
But I
and send.
don't have it on my phone.
You don't have what on your phone?
Facebook.
So
then I have to go sit in my office.
Oh, how dare you!
And there's so many guitars in there, they get distracted.
Well, hopefully the 10 seconds it takes to share this to get followers is worth your time.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Also, I'd be
go ahead.
curious. You might know this. Do people watch this or do they listen to it?
Both.
Where do
Both.
they listen to it? Is it on Spotify?
It's on Apple Podcasts. Just the regular podcast app. I couldn't put it on Spotify if we want.
What is Apple Podcasts?
It's just the standard. It comes with every
Really?
Apple phone or MacBook or whatever. Any Apple product has it.
So I have that?
You do.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
people listen to this, huh?
They do. They do. We had like
Fucking wild.
we got a bunch of new followers last week, which is great.
Where? on Apple.
On that, plus also just on our Facebook page
You have
too.
a Facebook page, dude?
Yeah, that's where I share everything, bro.
Oh,
We're
So-
learning a lot tonight.
Yeah,
I'm so out of it. I had to Google today, how do you message someone on Facebook? I really did.
Messenger app.
And the response was like, just ask your nurse to help you, Grandpa.
Call 911. Get Life Alert.
Well, we have 2 shows this week,
We do.
but they're midweek shows. So it'll be a lot of pressure on you.
Let's mention the shows.
Wednesday,
Wednesday,
Courtyard,
the 24th, Paper Valley Courtyard here in town. 5:30,
5:30 with the Amelia Ford Band.
full band.
Full band.
Okay, cool.
Who we played with before. We like her.
We have?
I thought so.
I don't think
Just
so.
her.
Not the
Maybe.
full band, I don't
Right.
think. I don't think I've met her, but she's local?
I think she's Green Bay, maybe.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I thought we played with her once. I might be wrong.
But anyway,
Thursday, we're playing at Badger State Brewing Company with the great Laura Jane Grace and Walt Hamburger.
oh, and
Are
we're
you
bringing
bringing
the
the
full
band?
band.
Bringing the full band.
You sure?
Yeah. It's a strange one because it's solo act, big loud band, solo act. I was surprised. I thought when we got booked, it meant Laura was bringing a band.
I thought she is bringing her band.
Maybe she is. I don't know.
She's at Raccoon Motel either
Day
the
after?
day after or the day before, and she has, I think, a couple people that are traveling with her.
Oh, fun.
So we'll see. I guess we'll see.
What fun. I know she records a lot of like full band
Yeah,
stuff.
for sure. We will officially find out when we go to sound check.
On Thursday.
On Thursday.
Badger State Brewing Company. We're playing with Laura Jane Grace and Walt Hamburger. Very excited.
And we're bringing the full band.
Bringing the full band. Pretty excited, dude.
Anything else? If not,
if Curtis Novak is watching this, I need a JM Fat for the old Jazz Master. Hook it up. I have tens of fans, and I will tell them all about your pickups.
all right.
Give me one of them shits.
That sounds like a fair spot to end it. So, pickups for Chris.
JM Fat.
Show
just
Thursday.
the bridge, just the one
Bringing
pickup.
the full band.
Bring the full band. Laura
Chips
Jane
are
Grace,
great.
Walt
Pretzels are
Hamburger,
okay.
Badger State Brewing
Oh,
Company.
I would beg to differ, but okay.
What's that?
We'll end it.
We'll end it for now.
Speaking of
You
chips,
hold on to that topic for next week.
Ponch or John?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Chips.
Ponch, dude. He's the man.
It's Ponch, yeah. The show Chips, the
I've never
motorcycle
watched
cops.
Chips.
They're always defusing bombs and stuff on the interstate.
Amazing how many bombs were on the interstate in the 80s.
Wow, the 80s were so good for TV.
Anywho, all right, we're done. Bye.
3, 2, 1.